Now let us see examples of groups. Consider G the set of all bijective functions from a set consisting elements A, B, C to set consisting elements A, B, C. You have to check whether the set of bijection functions form a group under the composition of functions. First, let us list out all the bijective functions on the set consisting three elements A, B, C. Now we have to note that bijective function is a function which is 1, 1 as well as on 2. Yes. Now these are the list of all bijective functions from set consisting elements of A, B, C. Since there are three elements in the set, there will be 3 factorial set of bijective functions, that is 6 bijective functions will be there. So the first function is A is mapping to A, B is mapping to B, C is mapping to C. The second function is A is mapping to B, B is mapping to A, C is mapping to C. Third function is A is mapping to A, B is mapping to C, C is mapping to B. The fourth function is A is mapping to C, B is mapping to B, C is mapping to A. Fifth function is A is mapping to B, B is mapping to C, C is mapping to A. Sixth function is A is mapping to C, B is mapping to A, C is mapping to B. These are all possible bijective functions from the set A, B, C to itself. In Cartesian form, these functions can be written as follows. F1 is A is mapping to A, B is mapping to B, C is mapping to C. F2 is A is mapping to B, B is mapping to A, C is mapping to C. F3 is A is mapping to A, B is mapping to B, B is mapping to C, C is mapping to B. F4 is A is mapping to C, B is mapping to B, C is mapping to A. F5 is A is mapping to B, B is mapping to C, C is mapping to A. F3 is A is mapping to C, B is mapping to A, C is mapping to B. In a way, like the first components are elements of domain, the second components are elements of codomain. Or in other words, we can say that the first component is domain element, the second component is image of that element. For example, for F4, the image of A is C, the image of B is B, the image of C is A. The composition of F2 with F3 is F2 of circle F3 it is denoted as F2 circle F3. Now let us see F2 circle F3 of A. So F3 of A is, this is F3, F3 of A is A. So that will be F2 of circle F3 of A will be F2 of F3 circle F3 of A. F3 of A is again A. So this is F2 of A. So what is F2? F2 is this. So in F2 A is going to B. So F2 of A is B. So F2 circle F3 of A will be B. Now let us see what is image of B under composition of F2 circle F3. So F2 circle F3 of B is nothing but F2 of F3 of B. So F3 makes B, F3 sends B to C. So now substituting that we will get F2 of C. So F2 of C is, in F2 we have to see what is the image of C. So F2 of C is C. So that is this one. Now let us see F2 circle F3 of C. In this F3 of C is like F3 sends C to B. F3 of C is B. So this is F2 of B. So where does B goes in F2? B goes to A. F2 of B is A. Total F2 circle F3 will be the composition of F2 circle composition of F2 circle F3. That will be, so A is going to B and B is going to C, C is going to A. A is going to B is going to C, C is going to A. What is this? If we see in this, A is going to B is going to C, C is going to A. This is F5. So the composition of F2 circle F3 is F5. Like that we can compute every possible composition. In tabular form, if we write, it we'll get a composition table. So let us see composition of F2 with every other element. F2 circle F1 is, this is F2 F1, this is F2. So F2 circle F1 is, if we see that we start with A goes to A, here A goes to B, so as a result A goes to B. Here we start with B goes to B goes to A, so B goes to A. Here we start with C goes to C, here C goes to C. So this is C goes to C. As a result we get F2 circle F2 is, this is F2. Now let us see F2 circle F2. Here we start with A goes to B, here B goes to A. As a result we get A goes to A. So image of B is A, here image of A is B. The image of B will be B. Composition image of B is B. Here we start with C, image of C is C, here image of C is C. Total C goes to C. This is F1. Likewise in F2 circle F3, so here we start with A, image of A is A, here image of A is B, so A goes to B. Here image of B is C, so image of C is C, so B goes to C in composition. C goes to B goes to A, so C goes to A in composition. This is F5. Here we start with A goes to C, in this C goes to C, so in composition A goes to C. Here B goes to B, image of B in F2 is A, so in composition B goes to A. Here A goes to C, C goes to A, so A goes to B, so in composition C goes to B. This is F6. Similarly for F2 circle F5, A is mapped to B, B is mapped to A, so as in composition A is mapped to A. here B goes to C, so C goes to C. So in composition B goes to C. In this C goes to A goes to B. In composition C goes to B. So this is equal to F3. Here you start with A image of A is C, so image of C is C. In composition A goes to C. Here you start with B goes to A, so A goes to B. In composition B goes to B. C goes to B, so B goes to A. In composition C goes to A. So this is F4. Like this we can compute all possible compositions. In tabular form if we write, this looks like this. So in this table if we see the composition of every possible combination is again in G. So the results obtained by compositing every possible combination of functions is again either F1 or F2 or F3 or F4 or F5 or F6. So elements in the composition table again in G. So that is closure law. So if you take any two elements in the set, if you take composition, that is again belonging to G. So that is closure law. So function composition satisfies composition associative law. So this set satisfies associative law. So identity, if we see that here, if you take composition of F1 with F1, we are getting F1 with F2, F2, F3, F3, F4 also F4, F5 also F5, F6, F6. So F1 is identity element and it is in G. So it satisfies identity law. Now let us see what is the inverse. Now let us look at F1. In that row F1 is identity, so inverse of identity is again identity. Let us see F2. In this row we get identity here, above that we have F2, so the inverse of F2 is F2. Now let us see F3. This F1 is identity, the above is F3, so inverse of F3 is F3. Let us look at F4. In this we get F1 here, above that we have F4, so inverse of F4 is F4. Let us look at F5. We have identity here, so that this is F6, F5 circle F6 is identity, hence inverse of F5 is F6. Similarly, if we see this, this is identity, the above we get F5, so inverse of F6 is F5. So these inverse elements, inverse of F1 is F1, inverse of F2 is F2, inverse of F3 is F3, inverse of F4 is F4, inverse of F5 is F6, inverse of F6 is F5. All inverse elements are again in G, hence G satisfies inverse law. Therefore the set of all bijective functions on set A, B, C forms a group with composition of functions. Now let us see another example for group. The set of nth roots of unity. Let G be the set of nth roots of unity. Then let us see whether that forms a group with usual multiplication. So the nth roots of unity look like this: e power k into 2 pi I by n, where k is 0, 1, 2, so on and minus 1. These are n distinct elements. Now in order to check whether G is a group with multiplication, we have to check closure law, associative law, identity law, inverse law. First let us look at closure law. Before starting to check these laws, let a comma b comma c are elements in G, then they will be of this form. A is of the form e power k1 into 2 pi I by n, b is e power k2 into 2 pi I by n, and c is e power k3 into 2 pi I by n. Here k1, k2, k3 are integers which are greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to n minus 1. Now let us see closer what is a into b. If we multiply a and b, we get e power k1 into 2 pi I by n into e power k2 into 2 pi I by n. So that will be e power k1 plus k2 into 2 pi I by n. Now if k1 plus k2 is less than n minus 1, obviously k1 plus k2 is greater than or equal to 0. If it is less than n minus 1, this element is in G. If this is less than or equal to n minus 1 or less than n, then this a into b is in G. If it is greater than n, it is quite possible it is greater than 1 n, because if k2 is n minus 1 and k3 is n minus 1, k1 plus k2 is 2n minus 2. If n is like 2, that will be or n equal to 3 or something, 6 minus 2 is 4, so that will be take n equal to 3, so that will be this n minus 1 will be 2, so k1 and k2 is 2, then 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 is greater than 3. In such kind of situations, what we have to do is simply subtract n from k1 plus k2. So that will be n less than n, and it will be greater than or equal to 0. And look at this expression e power k1 plus k2 into 2 pi I by n. So that will be same as, if you apply Euler formula for this and apply Euler formula for this, we get these two results same. Hence a into b is this expression, which is also same as this one, and here k1 plus k2 minus n is less than n and greater than or equal to 0. This will be in G. So in any case, if it is k1 plus k2 is less than n, then a into b is in G. If it is greater than n, just simply subtract n from k1 plus k2, that will be same as this one. This element is in G. In both the cases, the product is in G. Hence, G satisfies closure law with multiplication. Now let us see associative law. So multiplication of complex number is associative. Hence, this set of numbers is subset of complex numbers. Hence this also satisfies associative law. So with multiplication, one is identity, that can be written as e power 0 into 2 pi I by n. This element is in G. Hence G satisfies identity law with multiplication. Now let us see inverse law. Inverse of A is A prime, that is like e power minus k1 into 2 pi I. So if we multiply these both of these, we get 1, or e power 0 into 2 pi I by n. If k1 equal to 0, A and A prime are same. If k1 is greater than 0 and less than n, then A prime is e power minus k1 into 2 pi I by n. So that is same as e power n minus k1 into 2 pi I by n. Here why we are doing this is minus, since k1 is positive integer, minus k1 is negative, so this element is directly not in G. So to make this element in G, so we are modifying in this form. This and this are same, but n minus k1 is since k1 is less than n, n minus k1 is uh, k1 is positive and less than n minus 1 is also positive and less than n. So this in turn will become element of G. So this A prime is inverse of A, which is in G. In conclusion, G satisfy inverse law with multiplication, and inverse element is also in that set. So since G satisfy all 4 laws, closure law, associative law, identity law and inverse law, G is a group with multiplication. That is, the set of nth roots of unity forms a group with multiplication. With this, let us stop here. Thank you.